Hey, what's up, y'all? It's called Chess Chronicles on YouTube. So yes, today I can drink. I can drink Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And believe me, when I pour, I pour. I'm drinking some rum, and I'm drinking a blueberry lemonade mix with with some lemon in it too, because I don't like real sweet drinks, so I have to cut it with something, a little bit to mellow out that sweet drink, a sweet taste, because I'm not like a sweet drinker. But yeah, I'm enjoying a good old cocktail right now. Y'all see my eyes, so y'all probably gonna get some of my real, I would say me talking for real. Let's just say that. So I'm gonna talk about this. I said I was gonna talk about this a little while ago. I'm gonna talk about the first time I've ever been into a real fight. Yeah, and I don't even really call this a real fight, because as you'll learn later, it wasn't no real freaking fight. So, fucking fight. Let me say that. Let me say that on the YouTube. Anyhow, so I went to this school called Jenks Middle School in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And incredible school. I've said that before on here. It's a good school district, and I'm sure it's still a good district to this day. But we stayed in an apartment complex. It was off of Riverside in South Tulsa. And I met, of course, a lot of people that was in the neighborhood, and, became friends, quick friends with a lot of people there, because it was a few people, that lived in my apartment complex. And also there were some townhomes and some houses right around the corner. And then the river was literally like I could walk to the river in like 5 minutes. So it was the Arkansas River that was running there, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it is the Arkansas River. But excuse me, I'm gonna try to get through this, because baby, this drink is hitting. Because when I pour, let's just say this. I'm gonna give you my cup right now. So this right here this is just like a food color. So I put about that much rum in there. Well, about that much rum in there. And that juice in there. So I'm really feeling it right now. So let's get back to my whole, let me not do this, because I'm trying to keep my chest out of here, so y'all can just focus on me talking about what I want to talk about. So my first fight, I used to have this friend who lived literally, I lived in an apartment, they lived in townhomes, duplexes or whatever it was, and it was probably a 3-minute walk from my apartment, because the apartment complex was open, and then the townhomes and duplexes were right there, right behind it. And I had this friend at the time. His name was Skeet. I still remember his name. It's crazy. I still remember his name to this day, just because I have a really good memory. If you don't know, but you will soon know that I have a really good memory. I can remember a lot of things. And he was my friend, when I first got there. We became probably friends when I first moved there, probably like a month and a half after my mom and I moved to those apartments. And it was cool. We went over each other's house and played PlayStation, all this other stuff like that, to Sega Genesis, because that was back then, and all that kind of stuff like that too. So yes, I had a Sega Genesis, and that was stolen, the flood over in Peachtree Park Apartments. I'm gonna tell you about that some more later, but you should probably know that from the first story, I think. But anyhow, so we were real cool. We had, we hung out. We were hung out at school, hung out at the apartments, and did play everywhere. Did what normal kids did, and went around and caused some types of confusions from time to time. But there was this time that I don't know how we started to like eventually fall out. How you get into this whole situations, or something happens where you fall out, and you don't know what happened, or you don't remember what happened. I probably don't care. But we got into this falling out stage, and this lasted for probably about a month and a half, 2 months, two months. And then we became to the point to where we just didn't talk at all. So we were, mutually hanging out with other people, still within our friend groups, or our associates, or acquaintances, or whatever you want to call it. But we really wouldn't speak to each other or whatnot too. So it was one day I was coming home from school, and we actually both were on the bus coming back from getting dropped off at our bus stop to go home. And this motherfucker was just sitting there in the back, just saying all kind of shit. So I don't know what happened, or what got him, riled up because let me tell you this. For me, I don't, pick fights. I don't, what's the name? I ain't finna damage my face. But I don't pick fights. I don't do anything like that because I don't give a damn when it comes to that. Even when back then, I don't give a damn. I talk about, me not giving a fucks about, what people say and all this other stuff, which really started in middle school, high school, but really perfected like early 20s. But I just didn't really care because I was just like, okay, whatever. I mean, you sitting there talking about me, he was a larger size, and I'm going to call him something else a little bit later. Larger size, much larger size than I was when it comes to his weight. I was taller than him, but he was bigger, way bigger than me. So we, he was saying something in the back of the bus, and I remember this whole scene or whatnot because he was in the back of the bus. I was probably like 5 or 6 rows up, and I heard him saying "run" or something like this, and this, and then some people laughing. He laughing or something like that too. So I just looked around. I just looked back. I was like, I'm saying, you fat motherfucker. And it was exactly what it was like. It was you sitting up here trying to sit here and say something about me. So I just said whatever. And then he did something. Somebody threw something at me or what's and I looked around and said, who the fuck threw this? I mean, like, yes, I did cuss, and I'm sure my mom probably was like, oh, he would cuss somebody. Yeah, I have my mouth is worse than. Oof. Anyhow, and I'm trying to keep it, kind of PG-13 in NC-17, but then it's gonna go rated R in a little bit. So somebody threw something at me, and I, and of course I didn't, I don't even think he did it, but somebody else did it, so it kind of agitated me a little bit, and I called them y'all stupid ass people and all this kind of stuff like that. And it was, what's the name? So then he started getting more riled up. So we exit the bus. And I walked to my home and all whatnot too, and he walked to his home, which is 3 minutes away from mine. And he yelled something out there. He called me a bitch or something like that. And I'm just looking around like, and I called him, you fat ass. I mean, that kind of stuff. That's what I said. So then I walked into my house. So then a while later, I came out of my house and I was talking to some other kids that were actually in the apartment complex, and we were outside just just hanging out, doing whatever, because it was kind of open space. It was kind of like trees and little, picnic tables, and everybody just came out, or whatnot. So then I was like, oh, let's go down to Ski House. I said, oh, okay. I'm sitting there looking like, I do not want to go down to this person, because, we was at it at the time, so I didn't want to go down to this person's house. And, so I just walked down, just slugging down the way, and then I was just like that, and everybody was out in the yard. And I'm just sitting there looking at people like, damn, there's a whole bunch of people here or something like that too. So I'm sitting here getting like this. I was like, this is a motherfucking setup. This is a setup. So they got my ass down here because this wanted to fight me or something. I said, okay. So I'm just sitting there like, okay, I'm just sitting there like, what? And I'm just, for me, I'm not one of those people that just go out and fight or something like that too. So he came over and said, yeah, I heard you talking all this. I said, no, you was talking all that shit on the bus and all this kind of stuff like that too. And he was like, he's like, well, no, I heard what you said. You called me a fat mother. Yeah, I called you that. You called me something or called me a bitch or something like that too. And, we were just going back and forth there. And then he's like this. So, how we just, when you start to fight or something like that, or start to initiate a type of fight, we were going around in a circle and, all kinds of stuff. So no licks were thrown, no kind of pushes, no anything like that. We were just, wasn't it? Because, at the day, we kind of still realized that we were friends at the time and whatnot too. So, so then people just, start edging, come on, hyping everybody up or something like that. They're wrong, you go, you bitch, and there's all this kind of stuff. So I'm sitting there like, whatever. So then he comes up to me, he pushed me. I pushed his ass back. I was like, well, I couldn't really push his ass back because his ass fat as hell. But anyhow, but he pushed me back, and I pushed him. So he pushed me, I pushed him back, and then that's how it kind of started. Then we kind of do some kind of little tackling kind of thing. It wasn't even really nothing. Then he tried to throw a punch. I moved out of the way, and I did a push punch on the side of his, I guess, shoulder or something like that too. And then I guess he got some action. So this big ass dude just charged me, like literally charged me. So I'm just sitting there like, mother. So I'm trying to sit here and just swing. But this dude charged me, and literally, we both fell at the same damn time. And so I'm sitting there like this on the ground. Let me tell you, I was like probably about 71, 72 pounds of this. This motherfucker was 270, 275 at the damn time. So this motherfucker tackled me and wasn't hitting me or nothing like that. He laid his big ass on me. I could not breathe and I couldn't motherfucking see because his fat ass was on me the entire time. And I'm just sitting there like, get your fat ass off of me. I'm like sitting there trying to, do whatever to get his ass and try to roll over. But this bitch is like literally 270. Say if I'm 200, if I'm 70 something pounds, this motherfucker was 270 pounds laying on top of me and I could not move. I'm just sitting there paralyzed on things. So it was like, hell, I'm about to spit right now because I remember this whole damn thing because I couldn't breathe and I couldn't damn see because all them titties and all them stomachs and shit was all over my face, and I'm just sitting there trying to roll over, get your big ass off of me because I can't, it was way too much. So then there was like, oh, Ski got you. I was like, no, I could mess with. I'm sitting there like, the fuck Ski got me. Get your fat ass off of me because I couldn't breathe. That was number one, and I couldn't see. And then I moved over to the side, so then I'm just sitting there like, hell, I can see the glimpse of like, oh, look, the sunlight is out because this big eclipse motherfucker was sitting there on my goddamn body, my whole body. I mean, his whole body covered my entire body because all whatever it was over me. So we sitting there like that too, and then eventually people started pulling us up or something like that too. Then we, I'm sitting there trying to catch my goddamn breath because I couldn't breathe because my ribs was crushed. I probably got a crushed rib that's been there for like since 1990. So I'm like, but are you fucking kidding me? Mid 90s or something like that. But anyway. So yeah, I'm trying to tell you about my first fight, my first thing. I was like really one of my first fights. I really haven't got too much fights because I'm one of those people like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it, but don't put your hands. Do not put your motherfucking hands on me. Do not, because there have been some other times I may hear reveal later where things have escalated before, but beyond that. But I'm just trying to see if I got my ass beat because this fat ass motherfucker was sitting there laying on top of me and I couldn't move and couldn't see, couldn't breathe, couldn't think because because all my functions and all my everything was just literally wipe out my body because this big ass dude was sitting there laying on top of me. And yes, Skeet, if you know who you are right to this day and you know who the fuck I am right now, yeah, your fat ass tried to smother me.